Welcome back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. And for today's video is God is good all the time. So one thing I cannot stand, okay, is when people only acknowledge that God is good or that God is real only when he is moving or has moved in their life. You know, only when they're benefiting from him, basically. So when or if they're not getting what they want, they don't think that God is good or they don't think that God is real. But baby, I don't know who needs to hear this, but God is real all the time and God is good all the time, okay? Not just what he's doing, not just when he's doing what you want or what you ask him to. You know what I'm saying? He was real when he did what you wanted him to do. He was good when he gave you what you wanted, right? And I can't stand when people use God and don't see him for who he truly is. Because the thing about it is, God is not a genie, okay? And I think that's like one of the hardest things for people to understand. They think you just ask God for whatever and you get it no matter what. And, you know, without having a relationship with him, without knowing him. And the people that think like this has never even lived for God, nor have they surrendered to him. So with that being said, they don't truly understand God, his nature, and how he works. And because they don't understand him, they question everything he does or everything he doesn't do in their life personally. They think his goodness and his realness is only real and only true when or if they're benefiting from him. They want God to constantly show and prove to them that he's good and that he's real. You know what I'm saying? The relationship is based on benefiting. Like, what can I get from God? You know what I'm saying? So that's how you know a person don't truly know God, when the relationship is strictly based on what can they get from him. If they're not getting nothing, now they ain't rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? Even after all their answered prayers that the Lord did answer, they will still question his goodness and his existence when a few things doesn't go their way. That's someone who doesn't know or understand God. So they don't understand that he's good all the time. Even when things in our life is not always good, the Lord is still good. So when you don't really know the Lord, that saying makes zero sense to you. You know, because they're going to be looking like, how you saying God is good all the time? I done lost my job, this, that, and the other. Wait a minute. What about all those other answered prayers that the Lord has answered for you? You know what I'm saying? We gonna go through things, and that's what people always fail to understand, that we are still going to go through life challenges, and a lot of things we bring on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't know the Lord, that saying God is good all the time does not make sense to you, okay? But when you truly know the Lord, baby, you completely understand it. You completely understand it. You know that God is good all the time. It's not about what the Lord is doing or what he's not doing, but it's about who he is. When you know the Lord, baby, it's about who he is. And when you truly love someone, you love them for who they are. Okay? Not what they can do for you, or not how you're benefiting from them. Not if they don't do something for you, you question their goodness, although they did many things for you before. But since they didn't do, you know, one or a few things, now you're questioning if they're really good. Or you disregard their existence because you're no longer benefiting from them. That's not real love. Start loving God for who he is and not what he can do for you. And you'll understand why we say God is good all the time, baby, because he is. Because he is. So a lot of people don't truly love God. And a lot of people, you know, they love what he can do for them. They don't love God truly for who he is. And you know when people only love God by what he can do for them, like I just told y'all. When they only acknowledge him and his existence and his goodness when they are benefiting from him, when their prayers are answered, when they get what they ask for. But the moment things get a little rocky, life get a little hard, God didn't answer one prayer. Now it's God ain't good. Now it's I don't even know if he's real. He was just real? You know what I'm saying? So we got to build a strong relationship with the Lord, a strong foundation, baby, because we can't be out here using God. Okay? I don't know who need to hear it, but stop using God. Get to know God for who he is. Because once you get to know God for who he is, everything begins to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you all the stuff he does is so great. We appreciate it. We still ask for things. Don't get me wrong. But when you know God for who he is, you understand him. You understand his nature. You understand his traits. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand him, you know that he's good all the time. And you know that everything works out for the good of those Once you understand him, everything makes sense. And that's why things don't make sense to people that don't truly walk with the Lord, because they don't understand him. And because they don't understand him, nothing makes sense. He's not good all the time to them, because he's not answering their prayer. You got to understand that the Lord is good all the time, even when your prayer is not getting answered. Baby, when you know the Lord and you know that he's good all the time, you think, okay, my prayers ain't getting answered because it's not aligning up to his will. Okay, my prayers ain't getting answered because I'm not doing what I need to do. Okay, my prayers ain't getting answered because I'm ignoring the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You think differently when you know God for who he is, because he's not just sitting around kicking his feet back like, I'm just not going to answer you today. When you know who God is and you know his character, baby, you understand that he is good all the time, and you know that there is a reason for everything in every season. But when you don't know him, you think he's a genie. A lot of people have this misconception that God is a genie, and he's not. I'm here to tell you that he's not. So get to know the Lord for who he is, and everything will make sense. Everything will line up, and you'll see why people say that God is good all the time, because he is. And he's not just good when you're getting something from him. He doesn't just exist when you're getting something from him. He's not about to sit around and prove his love and his faithfulness to people who don't even truly walk with him or love him, baby. But if this word is not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. God bless.